Hey, what's going on? This is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money without a job. Today, we're going to talk about the language of money. And no, it's not an LLC. No, it's not a nonprofit. No, it's not stocks and bonds. And no, it's not Wall Street. Very interesting query happened. There's someone had posted about they were going to become a billionaire because they were determined. I've said many years ago, and I'll say today, the way that you become a billionaire is not saying that you want to become a billionaire. The way to become a billionaire is to serve millions of people. So what do you have to bring to the world that will serve millions of people? That's the ticket. You got to serve a lot of people to become a billionaire. We'll do some of the math on that in a minute. As always, I have a live pre-stream and during the stream special, the language of money special. It's $100. It's the $25 hustle. It's the credit course. It's the mindset course and a few more things. You can only get it during the live stream. And if you come after this, the deal's gone. So don't email me. All right, let's get into the first word that is the most critical in the language of money. And that is service. The more people that you serve, the more money you will make. Sounds interesting, and many people don't really think about this. They don't really look at it. They don't talk about it. It's all about the money, and there's little regard to the people. And that's why a lot of people fail to make money online, because it's all about the money. And money's not bad. I'm not even going to go there. What I'm going to say, and let's see, I need to make an adjustment here. I guess it's tripping because I don't have a lot of light. Well, you know what? I'll be the ghost today. Yeah, I'll just be a straight ghost today. It's the lack of deep thought that creates these problems for people. Hold on a second. I got my tea here today. Oh, good stuff. Nasty taste, but it's good for you. All right. Service. How many people can you serve with your current business model? Seriously, how many? Think about it. Write down a number. How many people are in your audience? How many people are you think you can reach in your lifetime? What's that number? Have you even thought about it? So today, what I want you to do, take a sheet of paper and write at the top of it, service. And figure out how many people that your product, whatever you have, you can serve. And the greater the number of people you can serve. And this is just theory, because until you start doing it, unless you're already doing it, it's just conjecture. So do that. And then write down the number or the price of your product. Let's say you feel you could serve 150,000 people times 25. That's like what, 2.5 million or something like that. And that's the thing. So you got to look at that. So do that little exercise. Now, the next thing is gratitude. Many people will have a slow day and they'll be upset. They'll be pissed off. What you're doing is saying, I don't want little money. And typically you get little money before you get big money. So if you chase the little money away, you're going to chase the big money away. That's a problem. That's a big, big problem. You got to be grateful for what you're getting while you're building. Many people hate the struggle. And struggle, that's another language of money. Struggle is very much a part of making a lot of money. If the pathway was easy, very well defined, very smooth, you can make money on that path, but you're not going to make as much money. And sooner or later, that path is going to not produce the kind of fruit because it's so smooth and easy. Prime example, Amazon FBA. It was long when it was like really hard and no one knew about it. The early adapters got in, they were making sick money because they had less competition. Now, anybody who is of moderate intellect, if they spent a good month researching online how to do Amazon FBA, they could go in and start killing it very quickly. And what happens is whenever a marketplace has that kind of action, the money goes down. It's called pricing compression. The supply demand and the supply curve not only works for products, it works for people entering into the marketplace. So more sellers into a marketplace, what's going to happen? The natural consequence is the price is going to drop. Many people don't seem to understand that. And when it happens to them, they feel that something bad happened or something crazy happened when that was the normal outcome to come. So, we've got three words here in the language of money: service, gratitude, and struggle, right? And a lot of people don't like to struggle, but see, this is the thing. You were born to struggle. When you were a little kid, a little baby, you start pulling up on shit and falling down. You fell down probably countless times, but nobody said, stop learning how to walk. Your mom, your dad, everybody's like, go ahead, little Toby. Go ahead, little Toby, little Stevie, little Ginger. Come on, keep going. You could do it. So every day that you fell down, somebody said, keep going. Someone said, let's go. So you had a lot of parental support that you don't get when you start your own business, but it's roughly the same thing. And you have to become your own cheerleader. So with that, let's see what we have in the chat room. We got Charlatan. What's up? Virtual Input. AKW Beats. Diana. Uberman 2010. Jake Wish. And Rhyme Check. Yeah, Lil Toby. Come on, Lil Toby. Lil Toby. I mean, seriously. Any of you have friends who just had a kid who's maybe a year old and has learned, is crawling and walking? Just sit back the next time you see them and how much they encourage little Toby to keep failing. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So that's one of the things. You'll see this with another language of money is expectations. You will see this with Facebook. Hey, y'all, I just got a new job. And this is a meme, and you'll see congratulations, way to go. Hey, y'all, I just started a new business. Cricket, matter of fact. Hold on. Will it work? I think it'll work. I can't hear it. There we go. That's what you get. So part of this whole thing is you have to start speaking to yourself in a different manner. You have to start talking to yourself in a different manner. Service, gratitude, struggle, and expectations. When I opened up the channel to, I talked to like 400 people earlier this year. Many people had some very jacked up expectations. Just because you have a website, just because you have an LLC and the business card and you call yourself a boss and you say you're a business owner, that does not mean you're a business owner. My definition of a business owner is someone that has a service product that makes them money. If it's not making you money, the chances of you getting to call yourself business owner are going to be slim and dark. There have been countless startups with millions of dollars of funding went out of business. Can you say Meerkat? Can you say MySpace? Well, MySpace actually is still in business and they still make money, believe it or not. But there's millions of startups that had millions of dollars and they're gone now. Why? Because they never were a business, because they never made money. So let's see what's in here. We got all kind of action in the chat room today. I feel like a star. Let's see. What's up, Adrian? Can a startup? What's up, Elder? Yep, you late. Anina Newman, hey, Markel Douglas, what's up? Jake Wish, it works. Jake Wish. Oh, okay. What's up, Chris? What's up, Josh? The JWB. My grandma called me to tell me she was disappointed when I started my business. I'm gonna read that again. My grandma called me to tell me she was disappointed when I started my business. This is the path of an entrepreneur. This is the reality. What's up, Shalise? Your grandma will apologize when you succeed. I don't know about that. They tend to be stubborn. Stuck mindset. Yeah. Chris from Montreal. Mina. It's not my problem. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Easy Slick. Good morning. All right. So part of the thing with expectations is your expectations. If you start a business today and this time next year, you're making $1,000 a month that you did not make the previous year, you're a success. But when you compare and contrast yourself to the hustler porn, my favorite thing to pick on is 6 months to 100 G's. I'm not going to mention names, but I just think that that has bullshit written all over it. And it induces younger people to make some foolish decisions. Now, I know someone who's went from nothing, literally nothing, to 100,000 in 42 days. But they worked like 20 hours a day and they had a really good ideal and they live with their mama. So it's possible, it's just not likely. Jake Wish, the same people who don't want you to have a business are the same people who want loans when you succeed. Oh, I like that. I like that because it's pretty much true. I was having this conversation with a client and I was like, don't tell people how much money you make. You will become the family bank before you know it. It will be hilarious. What's up, Roosevelt? What's up, Thad? Be more specific, Thad. Maybe, Mr. Cameron, you're describing my dilemma perfectly. You know my life, Jake Wish. You will become the family ATM. Chris everywhere. Most of these people have small goals. That is another part of it, and with expectations, because you got to have written goals. Like, all over here, I've got all kinds of stuff. And this is something that's strange. Once you get into this, you will start succeeding faster than you think, because if you just put your head down and focus on service, gratitude, expectations, and struggle, and just literally put your head down, you'll look up and you'll have more money than you thought you should have, because you're not focused on the money. You're focused on the mechanics that make the money. That has happened to me so many times that doesn't even surprise me. And what I mean is, I'll be working so hard and I'll look up and I'll have more money than I thought I had, which, when a job-based situation, I don't care how hard you work, your money's going to be the same unless you're getting overtime. And with overtime, there is a limit to how much overtime you can do, and there's a limit to how much overtime you can get. And with this new regime coming in into the government, a lot of programs that are based upon government subsidies or payouts, if you're in those kind of positions, and that's teaching, medical, first responders, a lot of stuff's going to get cut. And the first thing that's going to go is that overtime. It's going to be the first thing to go. So if you're one of those people who are like living like that, you might want to go ahead and put together a business, service, gratitude, struggle, expectations, and getting started. Another big thing with the language of money is you got to stop talking about money as if it is the gold. Money is a byproduct of service. This every time you're thinking about, okay, I don't have enough money to do X, Y, and Z. Step back a little bit and look at your service. How many people are you serving? How many people know who you are and what you do? The less people who know what you do, the less people who know who you are, the smaller your footprint of service. And that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. We got a lot of folks coming in today. It's the first of the month. Let's see. What's up, Benjamin? Jeff M. I get motivated when humans tell me I can't do it or it ain't going to work. That just sounds stubborn. It just sounds really, really stubborn, but it's a good thing to have. I tripled my JC Sanchez. I tripled my income after I left my 9-to-5 job 2 years ago. But yet I don't plan to tell anyone how much I make because people start looking at you differently. This includes close family. This is mostly close family. You can tell a stranger, yeah, I just tripled my income. They're not going to ask you for a loan. They're going to be like, wow. They may try to be your friend. They may try to get to know you a little bit better. They may invite you to a Christmas party and stuff like that, but they're not going to ask you for a loan. But people oh, yeah. It's family ATM. Roosevelt Davis, I never understood the person who owns a business they are waiting to make $1. They did not want to tell you that they have a business, they have a hobby. Crazy shit. This whole thing with the business and with many people is they don't understand that it's a hobby, it's a wish, it's a whim, it's a joke, really. If you have a business and it makes no money, and you putting your paycheck or you robbing your 401k to keep it afloat, it's not a business, it's a dependent. It's a big dependent. Yeah, act like you close to broke. Act like you're broke to close family. That's funny. Excuse me. Danny, I'm truly grateful. Any money is good money. Sometimes I get bummed for repair costs, but I know it will come back more annually from repairs. JC, you do not tell how much people. I mean, seriously, this whole thing with the money, which brings me up to a good point in the language of money and talking about making money in the general sense of talking about making money online. Hustler porn is very effective in terms of making money. And you have to look at the demographic of the people that hustler porn works the most on, which will be 13-year-olds to about 24. After a person starts to get some more seasoning in life and after buying, X amount of those programs and realize they don't work, they tend not to work on them anymore. But let's get with service, which is the most important part of this. How can you serve your community? Now, when I bring people on who don't already have an established online business, I typically point them to doing something local first and growing, because that's what I did. That's what I did. That's the deal. Jeff M, I feel sometimes people, sit back and hope you fail. Dude, that's gospel. That's reality. They do. Rugged Collars, what's up, Glendon? This market thing is blowing my mind. Color triggers effect, but my own site and eBay Etsy is two different beasts. The Jones, can you speak about having the abundance mindset? No. Today, we're going to talk about the language of money, which comes, and we're going to go back to one of those words, struggle. This is how you get a better mindset. Thinking that you have money when you're not doing shit to earn money is a recipe for a crack up or a psychotic break. What you want to do is first get your struggle together. And what I mean is, it's like lifting weights. Anyone in here who lifts weights here, who's ever benched like 300, 400, 500, 600 pounds, put it up in the comments. But the first day you go into the gym, you don't know what you can lift until you try. And then when you try, if you're right, you feel good. If you're wrong, you feel like, damn, I'm weak. So you get in there and you get yourself a program. And then you go week after week, and the gains, the gains don't come like quick. First few months, they're just like exploding, and then that just like slows down, right? But every day that you go there, you get a little stronger. if you're, providing you on the correct program. And after a year or two, you're like lifting amazing sums of weights. But if you don't struggle and push against your fears, your own tiredness, you don't get there. So what I'm saying in terms of mindset is it's something you have to build through action. Very like, just like the guy who learns the art of getting ass. When you get a guy who learns how women really operate and work, and he dials that shit in, he's like a kid with a new toy. These are the guys you can't get in relationships, or if they get in relationships, they're going to still cheat because they have learned the art of getting pussy. It's like they've become very skilled, and it's just like they'll look at you like, whatever, dude. And that confidence comes from accomplishment. It doesn't come from, excuse me. It doesn't come from I'm saying I'm good with women. It comes from experience after experience after experience after experience. Same thing happens in the gym. After you bench 300 pounds, you bench 400 pounds, and it gets easy, your confidence goes up. And the confidence comes from, excuse me, all this stuff. It comes from doing it, from actually being there, doing stuff. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see. Mina, hate this gonna hate. Let them do their job. I'll tell you a funny little story about that in a minute. AKW Beats. I know this has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but I just made my 2 sales on my website. Well, actually, it does. This is the language of money. This actually goes into what I just said about accomplishment. Congratulations. See, once you do it, then it's not so special. And then you pull all of the romance out of it and you get down to the practical application of making money. Uncle G, how did your military experience impact your worldview on money, wealth, and hustling? It really didn't. It exposed me to stuff. I didn't learn how to make money in the military. I learned how to follow rules in the military. The biggest benefit of the military to me was I got to go to other countries and I got to see how people really lived. And I got to see those National Geographic like stories up close and personal. But from making money standpoint, it doesn't really help you as much as you think. It can help you become a really good employee. It can help you have a lot of discipline, but from like balling out, making, nope. I learned the most about the true struggle, true hustling in the boarding house, because it was one of those things is either you do this or you perish. And I wasn't in that situation in the military. I would say maybe the guys who went to combat. I didn't go to combat. I was at Fort McPherson. They may have had some different experiences. So I'm speaking as just a regular soldier who was never exposed to combat. Now, I don't really think it helps you make money. And what's funny, for some of you who are vets, you need to look in your benefits, especially combat veterans. They had all kinds of loans for combat veterans that, I couldn't get because I didn't see any action, but it was real interesting. Rhythmic bench 335. Put in the comments how long it took you to get there. Jeff M, 120 pounds. I'm a monster. I'm ready to work harder now. Let's see. Keep moving. I read the book, The Game, You Nail Me. That's crazy. Rhythmic check. Rhyme check. I'm sorry. Do you have a team, and what kind of conversation do you have to have them stay focused? There's a team of 2, and I hired appropriately, so we don't really have those kind of conversations. I'll talk about that in a later video because people ask me about hiring. You hire the right people, you don't have to do all that stuff. Let's see, Roosevelt. Come on, Glenn. 250, 275. Man, I'm not blowing my nuts out. You're the man. 600 lift. No, I don't bench that much. I really focus on overhead press. I could do a 225 overhead press because it actually, the movie 100, no 300, the workout program that they had included the overhead press. They didn't do a lot of bench, and that's how they got that really good look. Mina, my dad sent me in the army at 17 because he said you need structure. That's funny. CJ, the military spoiled me, and I was blind on how to survive as a civilian. See, that's kind of the thing, that the military is good, and also I'll just speak on my experience, because the military for me was like 95% good. I mean, it was really like 5% that was real fucked up, but seriously, that wasn't bad. But I saw this syndrome happen with a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons I got out. I was supposed to get out earlier, but I got caught up during Desert Storm, and they just stop loss, where they take your ID card, so you can't get out because we're going to war. That happened to me. I was supposed to get out before Desert Storm, but it pushed me over 6 years. I got out because I saw what had happened to people once you become institutionalized, and this is not wrong. This just wasn't for me. It becomes very hard to do other things, and you kind of look for like military type jobs. That's why a lot of guys from military become cops. That's why a lot of military guys go to the post office or government, or GS workers. Very similar structure. It just wasn't for me. Let's see. Where are we? You learn to manage money when you don't have enough. That's true. Jake, which were the disadvantages of the military? Disadvantages, depends. Let's put that in the right context. If you are a kid and you don't know what you want to do, you don't know how you want to do it, you don't understand yourself, and you're like 17, 18, 19, 20, 2 years in the military, I think, would do you a world of good, because it'll give you some foundation. But in terms of starting a business, you're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that unless you're a true hustler. You're just not. Lamode, I learned not to quit in discipline, army. Yeah, I mean, there's good things. It's just they often will not be really congruent with you getting out and making money. Michael C. Caterpillars have to struggle to get out of the cocoon, small opening, push the body fluid into their wings so they are able to fly. If you enlarge the opening, the body will be too big to fly. That's pretty interesting, Michael. I appreciate that. Rhyme check, 1 year on the bench. Struggle is good. 315, I started lifting September 2014. See, it's a process. It's a process. Glenn, as we know, it's one thing to have income coming in, but some people struggle with keeping it. At what point, when the bucks start rolling in, did you realize you needed to stack? Day one. You need to stack from day one. The JWB 711, starting to finally generate some money off my business. At what income level should I get a CPA? Never had this problem before. Now, and you're going to struggle because tax season's popping up and a lot of good ones are already booked. You need to get a CPA the minute you start making money. Let's see. Early adopters take the risk. Hold on a second. I got a little issue here. I'll be right back because someone's going to start barking in a minute. But I'll keep talking. All right. You got to get out of my office because you'll. All right. Hey, back upstairs. All right. I am back. No, it's called a dog who will like start losing it. who would just like go crazy. I've sometimes she can be in the office, but most times no. Yeah, I know, it was funny. All right, let's see. Adrian, would you use your stack to fund a business? No. The language of money, and this is something that many, Google something called the lean startup. It's a way to start a business without spending a lot of money and to get to the core. That's something that I would have spent. So I would spend as little money as possible starting a business, because until you get to the part that works, you can have, Damon John, other people. What's his name? He was married to Demi Moore. I forget his name. You can see him, tall guy. Uh, they've invested money in millions, and they just lost it all because the business just wasn't going to make any money. Once the road is paved, the S-curve profit margin goes down. Josh Barr. Yep. Let's see. Ronnie Qualms, thank for technology. Yeah, this is cool. This is one of the things about the language of money and it taking chances. This whole thing is free, and there are many people who will not do it because, let's go back to what Josh was talking about, the S curve. You're starting a YouTube channel, there's going to be a curve of a lot of work. You're not going to get a lot of views in the beginning. I mean, that's something I'm going through right now because I made a big pivot and I just decided to stick my foot in the ground and go in this other direction. And a lot of people don't like it. So part of the language of money, and this goes back to struggle, is you have to mentally deal with certain things that you're doing the right thing, right? But the gains are not coming like you want. So you have to stick with the program, whether they're coming or not. Let's see. I'll be doing like a setup on how I do these live streams. Let's see. Working from home, trying to get my business started. My husband does respect the fact that I'm busy and doing something important, and that's why you have an office. Like this is off limits to everybody in the house. I mean, serious. I mean, firm talk. Like, stay the fuck out my office, because typically when you work at home, and this is something I've worked from home since 2009, people don't think you're working, and they tend to not respect that. And sometimes you just have to let the monster out and like, look, I'm gonna come in your job trying to talk to you. Let's see. Kutcher. Okay, Ashton. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, he's lost a lot of money. Hyper Life Beats. Pay yourself or owe yourself. A big problem while a lot of people are poor because they don't know how to manage money, especially when first starting up. Go to my channel page and look up the 5 financial tips for business owners, the 5 type of business checking accounts, which is true. That's why I made those videos. It's true because you got to partition your money. You have to. Jeff M, I'm still laid off, working my butt off to start my construction consulting business. Went to SCORE, taking every course I can at the Small Business Association, meeting new contacts every week. You got to hustle. Let's see. How money works needs to be taught in school. Yes, it does. I mean, it's this serious. That's part of the reason that I got this place, because last house was nice. It was real nice, 4 bedrooms on this. One of the bedrooms my office, but now this joint has 3 levels, and this was what I wanted. And the next joint is going to have a carriage house. Yeah, I've already planned the next house. It's going to have a carriage house that's going to be physically separated, or it may be over the garage, and that's going to be the office. Yeah, I mean, I've already got that written down, what I want, how I want it to look, because from working from home, if you live by yourself, you can literally turn your whole house in your office, no problem. But if you are in a situation, married, have kids, that's just not going to work. So you need to separate that space from your family. So like when I go upstairs, I don't take work. I leave, I go through that door. I'm not working no more. So you got to do that, or you always be working. I'm going to show my husband this video. Let's see. Ronnie Combs, I can't wait to buy my first course this weekend from you. Which one do you recommend to find? What do you want to do? You know, what do you want to do exactly? You want to start a business? You want to hustle? What do you want to do? And then I'll give you a recommendation. And for those you, and that's a good point to drop this in here. This is today's special. It's $100. It includes the $25 hustle, the credit course, how to never be broke, all stuff that's congruent with the topic today of money. $100. You can only get it during the stream. So click that if you want it, if you want to be classy, if you want to jump on that. Let's see. Avery, yeah, my 3-year-old is jumping all over me right now. She's waving at the screen and saying hello. What's up, kiddo? Let's talk about that. Avery bringing up something really, really good. All right. You see a lot of these internet lifestyle people, and they're doing videos and they got their kids all over them and they're spending time with their kids. All right. This is judgment. And the dog is barking upstairs right now, like I knew she would. And when my kids were little, I spent a lot of time with them. I could take them anywhere. I didn't have to touch them. I didn't have to threaten them. I didn't have to beat them because I spent a lot of time with them. My opinion, and once again, this is judgment. If you spend 2 or 3 hours a day with your kids, you're going to be spending more time, one-on-one, direct, not doing this other thing and doing that thing, but actually one-on-one, 3 hours straight up with the kiddo, reading, writing, whatever. You're just going to be easier to control. Just my opinion and from my experience. And with the internet porn, guys, you see this, and it's like, I'm not gonna mention names, but like I did this so I could spend all day with my kids. All right. From a human psychology perspective, at no point in history have the kids spent all day with the parents once they reached a certain age. When we were in the agrarian society, the kids, as soon as they were able to like go out there and move some crops and stuff, they were in the fields. There's a reason that you mature the way that you do. And most kids, believe it or not, if they were properly raised, could leave home at 16 and survive and make money. So once you get past those poopy diaper stuff until maybe 10 or 11, because there's a lot of 10-year-olds, if you really talk to them, they're really intelligent. They just don't have that maturity thing, but it really kicks in around 16. So I'm just saying, Martin, it's against the law in some countries to teach about money in school, says Robert. I didn't know that. Let's see. I didn't know that. Danny Guerrero, I enjoy your past stories from the boarding and labor ready. I respect the survivor. That shit was wild. Let's see. The best. I like the advice, kids. Start my own business. Virtual input. What are some tax benefits that? All right. All right. I'm going to give you a scenario because this is part of the language of money. This is going to be how this works. You start a YouTube channel and then you go out and buy a $5,000 camera. Let's say you spend $5,000 for the LLC, camera, and you make a few videos. You can write off the cost of the camera and that new computer legitimately off your taxes, and you haven't earned a penny. So I say all that to say that the minute you start a business and you set up right, the tax advantages are inherent from day one. You don't have to wait. You can start a business, and I know someone doing this. She likes to speak, and she all her money goes into travel. She likes to travel. She's the type of person, if she is home for a week, she gets antsy. She gets the hot feet. And she did about 190 last year, and she paid no federal taxes because she takes her money and she reinvested in the business. So when she goes and speaks at some conference, she'll take that money and buy a ticket to go to another conference to listen and network so she can go back and speak to those people at some point in the future. Tax advantages were immediate. Files her taxes, got a CPA, Been doing this for years. Never been audited. So this is a good question. Like all this stuff, there was one of these people. I'm going to call it one of the FBA people. And during tax season this year, people were holding up their checks and overages and stuff that they had to pay. And I was like, why don't you have an S corp? Why don't you have an S corp? Then run your LLC off that S corp. Why are you paying so much in taxes? Why aren't you doing a self-employment pension? And then I was like, fuck, they ain't a real business person. I keep forgetting because when I see this stuff, I'm just like, if you structured your shit right, you wouldn't be putting up some big ass check that you had to pay because you made money and talking about this bullshit of, I got to pay the government all this money and I can't like hire more employees. I was like, that ain't true. If your shit was structured properly, you wouldn't be writing that big ass check, which says a lot. So, Aaron, I'm off my rant. I'm getting back to the language of money because those tax questions. CPA is a certified. What is that? Certified public accountant. I had a brain fart. Let's see where. Well, all right. Let me go back because I got on my rant and there's a lot of stuff that came in here. Let's see. Where are we? You're preaching the gospel. Check out Finn, a 16-year-old photographer, videographer who's killing the game right now. Oh, North Korea, you can't teach money? That makes sense. Pauline, question, is selling advertising a service business? Yes. Miss Stacks, he ain't lying. Just roll off my $600 camera the other day, saved me $180 on taxes. It starts immediately. Mr. Safety Forever, he's on point. Separate carriage house structure for fire and safety concerns. That's what I'm thinking. I think I answered that. What's the CPA, certified public accountant? When you run the business, how should one divide the money? How should one keep the business, or should you pay yourself first? Go to the 5 habits for self-employed people. Check that video out. Shalice, no lawyer, no CPA. CG, I can never watch a full live broadcast because customers always walk into my shop. Hey, that's a great problem to have. Have you told your kids about business? Yes. Now, another thing with that, everybody's not going to do a business thing. That's just something that's wild because the oldest one is an artist, and being someone who is an artist, it's really interesting. We're still working on it. I can tell you this, that when your kids see that you live how you want to live, that impresses them more than anything you can tell them. If they see that you're happy doing what you're doing and you living how you want to live, because one day my daughter was like, you never really complain. I have no reason to complain. Life is good. It's that kind of stuff that penetrates more than you should do this and this and this and this. Charlton 19, that's funny. Megatine, your sound quality is very appropriate for these types of presentations. What brand is the mic? Do you work with brand sponsoring business as a business model? No, I don't take any outside advertising, and essentially my mic setup is called a Sennheiser. It's like $800, or if you get 2, which I suggest because you get a better deal, it's like $1,400. But yeah, because I've tried all this other stuff. Like I said, at some point I'll do the whole setup thing. And when YouTube starts working the way it should be, because I'll probably do these scheduled hangouts using this because it seems to work regardless. The other one, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So then it gets interesting. Generational wealth. Pauline Ogley started a local newsletter 6 months ago. Have 50 or so subscribers, start selling advertising next month. Awesome. Now let's go ahead with Pauline's thing here. Now she just started this 6 months ago and got 50 or so subscribers. Now, if she stays with this year after year after year, it gets to the point where the money gets sick. You've gone to the grocery store and you've seen, what is it, the penny hoarder or the thrifty nickel. They've been around forever, right? These little rags, they're like that thick, make millions of dollars a year off advertising. Ronnie Combs, which course should I buy when you want to be? I love this. Do you know there's a course called The Boss, Becoming the Boss? Hold on. Let's see. Let me get in there and I'll make this, since we're talking about this, I'll just go in there and I'll do 2 specials. Let's see. Let me find it. Talks about becoming the boss. Where the hell is it? I think it's up top. Here it is. Let's see. What can we do you for? Pricing. It is $300. So for the stream, I'm gonna knock 70% off because you are my people. So let's go here. So for those of you who want to develop the boss mindset, let's come out here and it right there. So you can save 70% off if you act right now. There you go. Chris W., don't cheap out on the lawyer and the CPA. When opening your business, better to pay a little in the beginning to avoid pitfalls than paying a lot of them to clean up your mess. I would wholeheartedly co-sign on that. Someone mentioned SCORE, great resource to take on it. Yes, definitely. Now, let's go with, we got these words, right? That, because they have nothing you've heard before in terms of talking about money. Service, hands down, is the most important thing. If you sit down and say, how many people can I really serve really well, and focus on that audience with a vigor that, people think you're crazy. Let's go with Jeff Bezos. People thought he was crazy. Go with some other stuff. People will think you're crazy. But if you focus, because this is my big focus, and this is the whole change and all this other stuff is coming on, is people who legitimately want to start businesses for real. Not, I want to get some money so I can buy a Ferrari, so I can get a bimbo. I'm not talking to those people, and that's why the messaging repels those people, and that's why they don't hang around. I don't see them, and they don't really talk to me or appreciate this message because it's not for them. Talking about building some, like, I'm gonna give you my retirement plan, because you hear all this stuff about investments, and this comes from service, and this comes from watching people that I wrote big ass rent checks to. This is where I learned about trust funds. Like one of my warehouses, my rent check for that warehouse went to the bump something trust. And then I talked to the dude and I said, okay, what's this about? And he's like, yeah, I have 30 buildings in this trust. I was just stunned. I mean, we talked about it. And he's like, hey, this is how you want to do it. Yes, he was Jewish. And he's like, hey, if you need my boy Jaime to hook you up. So the service will serve you, because if I didn't have that business, I would have never known about all of that stuff. The business puts you in a situation where you will grow and enhance as a person. Now, with the whole thing of retirement, because there's a lot of people talk about retirement, putting money away, these Vonia, Merrill Lynch, all these places are selling you on retirement, how much money you need to be. Now, if you are 22 right now, or let's say you're 50, say you're 22, 50, doesn't matter, and you start a business, and let's say it takes you 20 years to get that business to the point where you've got the right employees, the right management staff, and you can pop in there once a week and you roll out with 100 grand every month. Okay. Everyone here who thinks that's bad, raise their hand. I mean, really, seriously, you got this. I know people who do this. Um, Typically, if you learn how to set up a business that serves a lot of people, that has a long-term perspective, you can have this business and be 90 years old and have it in like a LLC with your kids on it. So when you take that dirt nap, they're already owners of the business and they don't pay all these fucking estate taxes. So that's my thing, the perpetual business, build business models. That's why media company, I'm gonna get real deep into the media company thing in a minute, is you will create such a legacy and you will be making active money. Because, you know, for those of you with grandparents who are Medicaid, y'all gonna have to help them out because their benefits are about to be cut. Know that. What's up? Keith in, it's good to teach kids about business. When I was 15, my dad made me and my sister, who was 8 at the time, tutor kids in French, put out ads in the supermarket, and we each made $300 a month. Awesome, awesome father you have there. Makes a big difference. I mean, this is how you make those billions, by serving millions of people. That's why, like, when you see these venture capitalists and all right, this is how that game works. This venture capitalist firm comes in and invests 50 million into this company. They're not investing 50 million in that company for the long term. They want to exit in 5 years. So they're going to do things. They're going to maybe fire a division, sell something. They're going to make that company as lean and mean as possible so they can make a lot of money, or it can be sold for a lot of money so they can get their investment back really quickly. This is nothing to do with long-term business building. This is why Jeff Bezos keeps 53% of the stock. Because if he sold more, he could be booted out by the board of directors. But since he owns so much of the stock, and more than likely in the articles of incorporation when this company was set up, you can't get rid of him. A lot of business owners don't have this foresight. But once again, Jeff Bezos works as what? And a Wall Street analyst before he got into business. So he knew all the gotchas. Team Male Millionaire, Keith Klein in. My kids help me as much with business as possible. It makes a difference. It makes a huge, huge difference. So those are your things: service, gratitude, expectations, struggle. These are the things that you have to embrace along with expectations to make that $1 billion. And, you know, since we're talking about kids and stuff here, typically, and this is the reality, as I said before, because people were like kind of tripping, you can start from nothing and get to $1 million, become a millionaire in America. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm going to say it's very doable. It's very, very doable. And if you do that, you set your kids up to become billionaires. Because, you know, you could check out the previous stream where I talked about this, where Zuckerberg's parents were dentists, and then someone put in the comment that his father was an early adapter of computer technology and coding. His father was sending electronic payments of the mortgage in like 1979. So not only did he get the benefit of being affluent, but he had a very cutting edge father. And believe me, that made all the difference in the world. That made a ton of difference, that your dad was a coder before coding was cool. You can't tell me that didn't have an impact on the reason he was able to do the stuff he did. Makes a big difference. Wait a minute, the dude from Men's Warehouse got booted? Wow, I didn't know that. I look his commercials and I guarantee it. Not surprised, because see, one of the things is, you know, just to give you a little insight on me, I don't really give a shit about becoming a billionaire. I really don't. If it were to happen, I would be glad, but that is not my focus. My focus is to be doing what I'm doing. I do what I want most days. To me, that's my wealth. For me, you know, some people that might be inappropriate or it won't work. But for me, I felt I've been half retired, other than periods where I've been working like a madman, pretty much since 2009. I will tell you, 2010, 2011, 12, I was retired. I worked hour or two a day, if that. And those were the best earning years because it was all systemized and automated. Glenn, my plan is to grow my current business and use the money to buy established local service businesses I can grow from a marketing knowledge. Yep, your wealth is freedom. I mean, that's my thing. That's what gets me up in the morning. Is I can do what I want. All this stuff is by design. Like I was talking earlier about this house. This was by design. I wanted a place, and it's funny. This whole area back here is bigger than my last apartment, because I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, it really is. But and there's some more. There will be some changes I'll make in here, but this is the biz. This is how this whole thing operates. So let's see, where are we? Okay, let me put this. I guess I need to. Let me find it. So here is the bundle. For those of you who want Becoming the Boss, let me put this in here. Let me get it straight. This is the Boss course, 70% off. And I'm gonna find the other one because I'm getting ready to shut this down. If you got any questions, just throw them in the chat real quick. Let me find this other thing. Here we go. And let's see. And the technology, it's wonderful. You can do all of this stuff. You can do stuff on the fly. It almost makes you feel special. Let's see. Where the heck is it? Just give me a second to find it. And whatever questions you put in there, I will answer after I come out of here. Oh, here it is. It's $100 as well. Let's see. Let's preview that. It is the Language of Money Special, which is the credit course, How to Never Be Broke Again, $25 hustle plus the hustle mindset, pimping your mindset course. It's more than a book. There's some more stuff in there for you. So let's just put this in there. And money language. That's horrible. My spelling is atrocious. Course. Let's say deal. There we go. What type of media company would you set up? I've already set it up. I'm doing it. Business consulting media company. Yep, it's Avery Brown. It's truly a great time to be tech is the shit. Yes, it is. Westinghouse Award winner Zuckerberg. Nope, no Vaseline, Ice Cube. All right, that seems to be it. So for those of you who are in the chat, because I think the chat thing runs like 30 minutes. So you got 30 minutes to go through the comments and get these deals. And I'm about to be out because I got things to do. So, all right. Thanks everybody that came out. Appreciate it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video.